So like we talked a little bit about the product market fit phase. What did you see as being different in terms of scaling the company for AI ML compared to traditional software?
I think both of them, you have to be a good listener. And before starting a company, I would highly recommend that everybody brushes up on their listening skills, because you need to listen to your co-founders, you need to listen to your employees, and you really have to listen to your customers. And I think for a traditional company where you have a product that's coming to market and you have to listen to whether it's working, I think even when you have an AI and ML project that you're bringing to the market, you really have to close the loop on listening. You have to design your questionnaires well, to not be like leading questions. You really like this, right? So, that's how we've built the operating team around helping usually technical founders bring things to market with how to design their user questionnaires and design thinking and even sales playbooks for AI ML engineers.
Do you feel this is even more important for AI ML companies than traditional software?
I don't. I think that it's very hard no matter what product you're bringing to market. It could be harder in an AI ML company because you need to get the objective function really right. Otherwise, it doesn't work at all. But imagine, it's something like Streamlit or it's an API. You have to make sure to get kind of that base layer right. And for that, you need to have good first customers, choose them correctly, listen to them well, but kind of not too well. It's that art of kind of selling what you have, but making sure that what you have is what people want. It's a whole flywheel in and of itself.
I wanted to ask you about that last comment about helping make sure that it's what people want. So for context, our listeners are primarily engineering leaders, and there's a large number of them who are interested in starting their own companies, some of them in the AI ML space. How do you recommend for those folks who are sort of exploring starting that AI ML company to test or validate the different ideas in those early stages? Are there any difference in certain applications for how to test or validate those ideas?
I think, you have to figure out what you're thinking about doing. You have to approach people or network with people to get to other people that they know, to try to talk to those target customers to see if this is really a problem for them. But a lot of times AI ML engineers do the opposite. They decide to learn what they need to build by sitting in with folks. They say, oh, here's something that I think is broken. Some workflow I think is broken. I'm going to sit with whoever that is. Let's say they're going to look at like emergency room logistics or whatever. Okay, I'm going to just go get permission to hang out in an emergency room. And they kind of be data oriented around how to solve a problem.